Okay, Western Kansas Prepper here. Part 2 of my medical roll video, and just continuing with the pouches is in order that they're rolled out in. Going to the section down here. This is just one Ziploc. Again, this just contains a variety of alcohol wipes. Mainly these are just bandages that you get out of a first aid kit or one of those tins from Curate or Band-Aid. And they're, various sizes. Some are larger, some are smaller. One of these Newgate gauze dressings. These are for minor injuries. They're not going to conceal a gaping chest wound or anything, but they will. You may sustain some minor injuries mucking about through the woods or on foot or what have you, so it may be nice to be able to keep those wounds closed, free from infection, and those bandages will help you to do that. So those are not bad to have, even though they're just little bandages. There's a reason that they're around. Okay, moving on with the pack. I have here, again, with these straps, I have one of these emergency bandages, trauma wound dressing. This is a fairly substantial device that you can use. It has some non-adhesive plastic on two sides, and there is a good video showing you how to use this bandage. Just go to YouTube and look up, the emergency bandage, and there should be a video by the company that shows you all the functions of this thing. It's very nice to have because this gives you some very serious ability to treat a trauma that is difficult to stop bleeding on. So this has ways to tourniquet a bit, has ways to put about 30 pounds of pressure on a wound without your hands or arms there. So it's good to have. Continuing on with the pack up here. We got a small, again, in a Ziploc bag, a smaller one of those baguettes that I showed you before. These are just 4 tablets. These are like the generic version of those Alka-Seltzer cold and flu. Not a serious, medicine, but if you've got a runny nose or whatever, if you've ever tried these, they will dry you out, which is good. They taste nasty. I usually like to chase them with something. But they will dry you out, so it's not going to be fun. You're helping around with your bug-out bag. You got a runny nose, and you can't control it. That will be nice to be able to get that stopped for a while, at least, until you can get off your feet. Okay, up here, this is a pack of approximately, looks like 10 or so packaged and sterile syringes. There's some special, show you it's not a special brand or anything. These are called Teramo brand syringes. I'm not a diabetic or anything like that. I don't take any medications regularly, but syringes have other medical uses besides just insulin. And it's good to have. I probably don't need this many of them in this pack, but it's good to have that capability. And I had the space to do that. I might lighten that up a little bit. Down here in the bottom roll, start off with this, again in a Ziploc bag so they don't explode everything. I've got what is basically a generic version of Visine for eye redness. It'd be nice if something gets into somebody's eye. I've got a tube of Tinactin antifungal, and it's always embarrassing or whatever to talk about fungus on feet and other places, but I think it's important, especially in a bug out scenario, that you have something that'll do that, because as the Army will tell you, not that I've been in the Army, but people that have been in the Army know this, your feet are your most valuable resource. You've got to keep those tootsies dry and clear of fungus. If you get trench foot or gangrene or something, or just even a mild, case of turf toe or whatever, you're going to be a liability. and it's going to be hard for you to get on the move. So you got to keep that under control. Down here, I've got a small. This is a case of aspirin, Bayer brand. Nothing special again, but good to have. That's in a sealed container. Some other stuff I have here. These are Iosat brand iodine tablets, potassium iodide. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. These are of course famous for being. You would want to use these in a situation of radioactivity to keep your thyroid in shape, to keep you from suffering effects of radiation poisoning. If you cannot get out of the fallout area and you're exposed, those are good. And you know, again, that's difficult medication to come by. I advise everybody to have, you know, this is not a lot of them. Surely, you know, it's not a big, you know, ton of them, but it's, you know, the purpose is to be ready for an emergency, and especially if you live near a nuclear power plant or something, you know, it may not matter. You may be, you know, incinerated or whatever, but if you're not, it's good to have those. These are some travel size Neosporins, which would be antibiotic treatment for a wound site or to disinfect that. Those are real small and thin, handy to have in there, one-time uses. This is, and I try, if there's medicine that's not in a wrapper, I try to label those. This is acetaminophen, just a bunch of random Excedrin or generic Excedrin that will, you know, you can use as a pain reliever. Moving on to the next pocket. Here, I showed you how to stream light in here before. I got another light here. I don't know, I may not need this one in here if I have the stream light, but this is, I call this Energizer tack light. You can pin it to something or pin it to your clothing or whatever. If you were doing a medical examination, you could clip it there. This is really, they call it a hard case. It's very, very strong. It's probably the strongest cased flashlight I've ever felt. So it might be better actually in your bag, so it won't get crushed or something. It'd be good to have for that. Again, AA. I try to keep everything in my emergency supplies AA, just because I want to be able to switch them out. Nothing wrong with AAA, but if you're going to choose AAA, make all your stuff AAA. Okay. Up here again, back at the top, I have a couple of things. These are going to be some gloves, latex variety. You might want to, again, wash them down with alcohol pads to sterilize them, but good to have in a medical scenario. God, it's hard to get these pockets with holding this camera. Okay. This is an Ace brand. You can see it's an emergency bandage. I might have to put the phone down to get this out. Hang on. There we go. Okay, finally got this bastard out of there. Here we go. Ace brand emergency bandage. You know, you can get these at Walgreens, various sizes, but this would be, you know, good if you had a sprain of some kind to hold your, to immobilize the ankle or the wrist or whatever kind of injury you have like that. Doesn't weigh very much. All it did, as you can see, it took up some space in my pack there. In here I have some different types of tape. This is not duct tape. This is some of your medical paper tape that helps to seal bandages, helps to seal other dressings you may have applied. That's the point of these types of rolls. At the bottom there, again, I'm not systematic here. These are another couple pairs in a Ziploc baguette of the latex gloves. So I've got some extra capabilities there. Okay, that's the end of part 2.